Hey there, everyone. This is Dr. Gwen from the Dr. Gwen International Training and Empowerment Academy and host of the Dr. Gwen podcast show on iTunes. Thank you for joining me again today. And I can't tell you how much better I feel. The eye has cleared up significantly. I mean, it's still a little red, but I feel so much better. Boy, I tell you what, we don't appreciate health until we lose it, right? And then we do a little bit of backpedaling and wish we had, and then we feel better again, and it's right back over to what we used to do. So, some products are just not wholesome and good for me, and I just need to be a little more careful about my choice and my selection with the products that I choose to use. But anyway, I appreciate you more than you ever can know. And today the conversation is about anxiety and achieving what you want. Now, if you are type A personality, like I am, and I like to think, thank you for that like, I like to think that I was type A, even though people who know me would say, you're still type A, but boy, was I type A. Is there an A plus? I mean, I still am very careful and cautious about my deadlines. I still work very vigorously to make things happen. But now I have a different perspective on life. See, there was a time when I was always rushing to get somewhere, and yet there was really nowhere to get to that was that important. I remembered feeling as though I was on a treadmill, like something inside of me was like racing all the time. Like I had to absolutely be doing something and getting to some place. And that really ruled my life for a good significant amount of time. And as I grew older, even prior to that, then I also felt that anxiety about, boy, if I don't get to that right now, then I'm never going to have it. Somebody else is going to have it and I won't have it. So always this churning inside that made me feel very uneasy about circumstances and about my accomplishments. So as I grew older, it occurred to me that there are certain things in life that are to be enjoyed. And you've heard me say this before. I've said life is a journey. A lot of times we're waiting for that destination to enjoy the journey, not really realizing that the enjoyment is a part of the journey. That as we get there, we can appreciate the things that happen to us. Now, a lot of times we overlook a certain thing that's happening to us. We allow the nag of whether or not that thing is going to be running our lives, because we're thinking if we don't take care of that right now, then we're going to be left out in the cold. So what I want to do is to talk with you about some things about life, my personal discovery. There are certain things that we as humanity come here to experience. And one of those things is growth. Our whole entire journey on this planet is not just a journey of having kids, having them grow up, they go work and make a living and then they die. No, that's not it. Every single one of us, we each have a destiny. We have a purpose to fulfill. If you have not found out what that destiny is, keep searching. Keep searching your heart to discover what that is. So now, knowing that destiny that we have, life is like a school. It's a place where we come to learn those lessons to fulfill those destiny and that calling. Now, what I'm saying is a great stress reliever for you, because if you understand this principle, you will never look at any circumstance in your life the way you've always looked at it. It won't stress you out anymore, period. I'm telling you, this type A personality has not given up the whole action of being in action. That's me, right? But the whole stress that came with that, gone. When I say gone, baby, I mean gone. Completely gone. And I am elated because no longer do I have to feel stressed out about what is around the corner, what I have not achieved, what is yet to be achieved, and oh my goodness, it's going to slip away from me. What I've learned now is that whatever is mine is mine. People have always said it throughout my life, but I never took it seriously. I didn't care about it. I didn't believe it. Your life path, your destiny, the lessons you come here to learn are preparing you for whatever the goals are that you have planned for your life. So what is it that you want? Are you anxious that you're not getting to achieve that and somebody else is getting ahead of you in achieving that? You can stop and drop it right now and pay more attention to your lessons. So what are some of the lessons that you could possibly be up to learning? Well, I made a few notes here so I could remember. Maybe humility is one of those. Humility to ask for help in achieving what you want. That could be a life lesson for you to learn. I'm going to say a number of them. Yours may not be any of them, but as we do our empowering reflection, that is food for thought for you. I want you to think and come up with, what is my life lesson, so I can hurry up and learn the lesson so I can achieve the goal. Because if you don't learn these lessons, you're going to go over those lessons again and again and again. So is it humility that you have to learn to ask for things that you want? Is it temperance? Maybe you may have a tendency to go overboard with things. And that goal that you want to achieve, that destiny that you're here to fulfill, may require that you have more constraint in your life. So is it temperance that you need to achieve in order to get there? Is it stewardship? Learning how to handle what you have appropriately. See, sometimes we want those big goals and we have smaller portions of it and we're not handling those smaller goals appropriately. We're not. And therefore, we are stalled. You won't get any farther if you have not learned to handle temperately the things you already have. Because if you can't manage what you have right now, how are you going to manage something that's bigger? So look in your own life and ask yourself, what is my life lesson? Is your life lesson leadership? Do you have to step out and go ask and go lead and go achieve? Is that your life lesson so you can achieve your goals and also accomplish your destiny that you are set out here for? What about the love and forgiveness? You know, very often we don't think that this part has anything to do with our achievement in our business and in other areas of our lives. Let me tell you, that is a huge mistake. Because when you are harboring hate, when you're harboring grudges, when you're harboring jealousy and hypocrisy and all of those things that are negative, what that does, it infiltrates your being. And you, my friend, stop up all of the positive energies that will flow in your direction to get you what you want. You've got to clear those things out of your life. You have to. And let me tell you, I know sometimes that loving peace is really hard, especially when you feel like somebody has been really mean and cruel to you. It's hard. I'm not telling you any lie. It really is hard. And I myself have had to grapple with that not so far in the past, to really deal with that, to really say, can I bring myself to forgive this person for the evils that have been done? And I had to grapple with that, my friends. And there was a little part of me that was pouting, that was saying, no, I don't want to. I want to still keep being mad. That part of me, truthfully. But I knew that that wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for the mission I'm here for. And it certainly wasn't good for my life and the people that I was holding that for. So I had to confront it. So is it love and forgiveness that you have to confront and release to achieve that goal and the anxiety that you may be feeling that's cropping up to keep you away? Well, what about this one? And this is a big one. Being real. You know, the one thing that gets me every time, there's one thing no one will ever be able to say about Gwen. You want to know what that is? Nobody will ever say Gwen is a pretender. Nobody will have the luxury of saying that I am a pretender. If there's anything, they say I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I've learned to poker face up a little bit, you know, so that, especially in leadership, boy, I struggled with that for a while, because you could just read when I was agitated. And perhaps still, I don't know, but I have learned that poker face, how it feels, and now I put on the feeling to put on the face that I want to communicate when I'm upset. So I don't turn people off and distract them. Now, if I'm a little relaxed, that may slip out some way. But you have to learn to be real. You got to be real. Don't go hiding behind what you are not. There are too many people out there playing the hypocrisy game, pretending as though this is happening and pretending as though that is happening, and everything is all glorious and good when it really is falling apart. Is that you? Is it? Now, that has nothing to do with appreciating what the blessings are that are in your life. I have told you, I have set myself some very lofty goals, very, very lofty goals. And some of them are yet to be achieved. However, though, my life is great. I love my life. I really, really do. And I still have my eyes set on those goals. And that's not what I'm talking about being real. You got to be real. You know, if you're not real, then more than likely what you're doing is also blocking some resources that could come to you. So when somebody says to you, how are you doing with this and that? Do you say, oh, fantastic, when you know you have a need and you don't express that need? And because you don't express that need, you are stopping up that resource that that person may have been able to provide for you. So what are you feeling anxious about? Are you feeling that life is getting away with you or without you and everybody else is on that wagon except you? Let me tell you, if one thing that will just really console you, if you will consider this, and that is this, that anything that you are to get will be yours. There is no shortage. It's not a shortage. This is an abundant world. And The quicker you learn your lessons, though, the quicker you can get to experience those things and shed those anxieties that haunt your life. So for me, after having been that type A, or still being type A, for decades, right? And then finally releasing the anxiety that came with it. How was I able to do that? By simply recognizing that nothing that happens in my life is an accident, that every single thing that happens is here to get me growing to another level. And there were some repetitive patterns that I saw over my life, over my career. Some things that happen no matter where I go, no matter what relationships I had, there were some things that always showed up. Now, what I want you to ask yourself is this: what is that for you? What is that one thing that shows up every time? Do you find that maybe you are in an institution or your work or your business, and there is an issue with relating to people? Is it an issue with probably people talking about you? What is your complaint? What is your constant, continuous complaint? That may be a life lesson for you to pay attention to. So don't just dismiss it. Stop and pay attention. Find yourself asking these questions. What may be the lesson in this for me? Then go out and find those resources that will help you to grasp it. There are lots of resources available. And you know what? The biggest resource that people have not learned to tap into is what's going on inside. Yes, my friends, there's a lot of revelation, a lot of growth, a lot of opportunities that well up when you learn to stay still and tap inside. This is what I call meditating. So it's really key that you understand this, that you got to stay still and tap in. So I'm going to let you go for today, but I hope that you have been inspired. If you are feeling anxious or fearful or scarce, you have a scarcity that something is about to slip out of your hands, consider that nothing that is for you can ever be taken by someone else. Nothing. It does not matter. And more importantly, what are those lessons that you and I need to learn so we can take on the path of our destiny and achieve those goals? Get rid of those anxieties and those fears and start living your life today when you take this principle under consideration. And so I thank you so much for joining me. I know some of you once again will join me later. Please like and comment and do whatever you wish. Leave me a note, send me a message. I love those. And I love you. Thank you. This is Dr. Gwen, transforming lives to live purposefully and passionately.